In this video, I'm going to give you some top picks of books to peruse to help you on the path to self-awareness. And stick around to the end, I'll give you a bonus book to act as a Gen X reset. Hey Gen Xer, my name's Greg. I'm a former radio broadcaster, a former background actor and stand-in in the film and television industry, currently a professional photographer, and a self-published author. The book Timeless Truths, Hermetic Wisdom for the Gen X Journey, I wrote as a help self book at a particular time of my life where I kind of hit a bit of a rock bottom, a breakdown that turned into a breakthrough after disillusionment of the whole, I guess, Gen X experience, relationships, careers, and just institutions that's, promised but never delivered, available on Amazon as a paperback and also the Kindle version. Audiobook is coming soon. I'll drop a link in the description. A very important book, but not the most important book. I know it's my own book and I should be selling it a little more, but there's more, and we'll get to these books in just a moment. Another example of a good book. It is the good book. Now, this one is particularly special to me because it was given to me from my mom, by my mom, who received it in 1935 as an award for being the #1 student in her class. They gave her a copy of the Holy Bible. Now, I haven't read it. I understand it's a very deep book and a very, very long read. The font is very, very small for my old Gen X eyes. I promise I'll get to that, but it's very obviously important book to unpack. Another book that you might be thinking could be, a good book to go through and just try to find self is your high school yearbook. Personally, when I look at the high school yearbook, I cringe a little because it was an awkward time of my life. I didn't have a firm identity. I had bad acne. I was socially awkward. I didn't know where I fit in. I hung out with the stoners and the jocks and was a bit of both back in the day. And I didn't enjoy it. And the book we really need to pick up goes even further back. By the time we hit to high school, our kind of self is established. Our persona, our mask is kind of setting in place. Our patterns and our beliefs and who we actually end up as an adult kind of forms in high school. And we won't go too deep into the psychology, but the book I'm talking about picking up to really help you discover yourself is a photo book. In particular, ones with photos of yourself. So dig one out of the closet, out of the attic, out of the basement. The dustier, the better. And if you don't have a photo album, find old photos, not on your phone, but find the actual photo, in particular between the ages of 4 and 12 years old, before all the shit gets dumped upon you. Those are very crucial ages for personal development. I want you to hold the photo, look at the photo, and just remember what you were like back then between the ages of 4 or 12 years old, 4 and 12 years old. Because for me, I look back at these photos and go, I was a very, very curious kid, but it was overwhelming for parents, for relatives, for aunts, for uncles, for my older brother, for teachers, because I asked too many questions. So I was always told to shut up and just do what you're told. And that I repressed. I stopped asking questions. It became part of my shadow. That's very deep psychology, and I get into it in the book a lot, but our shadow is all our repressed personality traits that we were told to repress by our caregivers. So between 4 and 12, a lot of that happens. So when you pick up a photo and remember what you were like back then, that person is still, that little version of you is still in here, way down deep, buried, and the path of individuation, of alchemy, and all the other psychological stuff, self-awareness, let's just call it self-awareness, starts with, remembering who the real self is before everything else in life gets dumped upon it. So that's why I recommend the photo albums and not the phone version. Many people don't realize that between the ages of 4 or 12, we do not get what we need for our personal development, our core personal development. And then we spend the rest of our lives, 30, 40, 50 years, trying to unpack it all and trying to compensate for not getting what we needed. And the ways we do that we all know are sometimes not the most productive or mentally stable ways of coping with what we didn't get when we were between 4 and 12. And that's not to blame any of our caregivers, because they were going through the same shit. They didn't get what they were needing when they were 4 to 12 years old. So it's not about blame. Ultimately, it's about self. You got to look inward. And that's where the key is to what you really need in life. Look inward, don't look outward. And we'll just kind of leave it at that for now. But I did promise one more book as a Gen X reset, and it's an analog reset. Go to your dollar store and get one or two of these. Try a crossword puzzle book, turn the phone off before bed, and just do a puzzle or two each night before you go to bed and reset that analog part of your brain that is also still there. It just needs to have a bit of a workout. And if you find content like this interesting, please give a like and subscribe to Gen X Mindset, and maybe we can reset to our 4 to 12-year-old versions of ourselves.